everything a female porn star was, I was.
Wait.
I walk like a woman. I switch like a woman. I could change my voice like a woman. On the phone, when I used to talk to men on the phone, they used to think I was a chick.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I wanted to do everything to touch every part of a man's mind to feel how they feel when they're with a woman. Seduction was a premium. Now, my mind, I'm not gay. So many down on me say, I'm not gay.
Wow.
I'm not gay. I ain't gay. No, they have to believe it.
My guest today has an amazing story that has transformed the lives of many and has drawn criticism from many others. After years of living as a homosexual young man, Victor Bell has turned from a lifestyle toward faith in Jesus that he says has become the most important love in his life. Victor's story is compelling and some moments intense. If you have children in the room, please be aware that some of the topics in this conversation may be more graphic in nature. Victor, welcome. Welcome to the show, man. I'm glad to have you.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Yeah, man.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll dive right in because in our previous conversation, you said so many great things. And I'm interested. You know, I know that you helped a lot of people and there's a lot of benefit in your story, but I'm just curious about some things. So take me back. You mentioned that just this journey in your life started at one point when you were about 5 years old and you were watching a soap opera. Yes. I think you said it was, what was
General Hospital.
General Hospital. Tell us about that. Take us into that moment and what was that?
I was 5 years old. I was at my babysitter's house. We were stationed in Germany at the time. My father was in the Army, and we stayed with another fellow military family. Mm-hmm. Both of my dad and their dad would be off during the day. I went to PM kindergarten, so we needed a babysitter during the daytime so that I would have somewhere to go before it's time to go to kindergarten. My mother was at work. This particular day, I don't think it was any school. So my brother was there that day. I remember my brother being there. And we were playing with the toys. We was getting loud like boys. They were a Latino family too. And much like ours, you know.
Yeah.
She may have had a different accent, different words, but she was telling us to cut all the noise out.
Yeah.
And y'all get quiet. Her stories were getting ready to come on. And I remember something like a cartoon or a children's show that was coming on, and I wanted her to stop at that channel, and she didn't. So I was like, I'm anticipating like, she ain't stopped there.
Yeah.
She stopped on General Hospital. I remember it was General Hospital because I remember the difference between Guiding Light. You remember that soap opera with the light tower?
Yeah. You go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember General Hospital. And the General Hospital had the ruby red cursive writing.
Yeah.
General Hospital on. So as it's coming on, it's this woman walking on a beach with this man. They hold their hands, and I think he sweeps off her feet. And then there's a dinner where they're they have wine and there's candles and it's candlelit dinner, and they're holding hands and they're either about to kiss or they do kiss. Mm-hmm. And then there's a very vivid scene. And being 39 now, I mean, everything is on TV now.
Yeah.
But back then, I'm like, dang, they had that on TV in the opening credits.
That's what I was thinking when you mentioned it.
Yeah, that's what it got me. So they rolling around in the tub, and the next scene is rose petals and there's candles all around the atmosphere of the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And it was so eye-catching. It was so enchanting. It was almost like it was drawing me. The way he was holding the woman was so captivating. The way she was surrendered in his arms was so submissive. And the ambiance around it was like all of these other scenes have led up to the culmination of what this is supposed to end with. Love. So I said, this must be a demonstration of love. This must be the conclusion of what you get from the walking on the beach, candlelit dinner, to this. Mm-hmm. For some reason, I know why now, I had this thought. But at that time, I didn't think about being the man. I said, I want to be the woman. I want to be the woman. And I don't know what drove it at that time. It was nothing to really give me that rationale. But I was like, I want to be her. So over time, it starts connecting to other areas of my life in real time. See how girls are treated when they fall, when they're greeted by, male family. When they get hurt, they bump their leg or their knee or scab themselves or something like that. Okay, sweetie, it's okay. Don't cry. You're gonna be okay. You all right? Come here. Let me talk to you. All of that, stuff that is gentle,
Nurturing.
Nurturing.
Yeah.
It's kind. It is a proportionate form of affection at that moment. Growing up in the generation we grew up in, and generation behind that generation, it's not the way boys are treated.
Right.
Hypermasculinity was organic.
Right.
It was a norm.
That's right. Yeah.
In our everyday lives, and it wasn't, the term hypermasculine wasn't even a very used term.
Yeah, I had never heard it till recently.
In the norm of our culture.
Yeah.
So being greeted opposite of my sister, my female cousins. What's up, boy? What's good, little nigga? What's good?
Yeah.
Stop crying, man. Put your hands up.
Yeah.
So I adapted to it like all boys do, or so many boys do. Some boys don't.
Right.
But a lot of us boys, we did.
Yeah.
In this particular area, in the DC PG area.
Yeah.
Y'all notice I'm saying area.
Hey, you only know if you from this area.
and I'll elaborate more on the area in a minute. All of my family are Washingtonians. On my mother's side are native Washingtonians. A good portion of my father's side are native Washingtonians. My parents are native Washingtonians. God rest my dad, so he was a native Washingtonian. He's no longer with us, but we died. When he died, we were really great friends. I'll elaborate on why I'm saying that.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when you feel that, it added to the idea that girls are loved more, affection, nurturing, kindness, the consideration of them as people, not objects that need to be trained more or less, or that need to be built up a certain way. Just the proportionate, age-appropriate engagement or interaction that says, I care about how you feel at that moment. If you fall, if you get hurt, how you're greeted.
Yeah.
Boys didn't get that.
No.
Most times, our generation, the environment we grew up in, the environments before us, we didn't get that.
Right.
So it just heightened the idea girls are loved more. And not only girls are loved more to the point of becoming women, they're loved like this.
Let me ask you this. Because you said you were talking about the progression to love. This leads to love. And it made me think, what did love look like off of the television? Did you see your parents? Did they have a certain kind of love?
So I just felt like that was default. They married.
Oh, okay.
Mom and dad, they married.
Yeah.
They hugged, they kissed. I saw, and I equated it to two different things. I said, okay, I see Disney movies. At the end, that prince always kissed the princess or something like that. And it's very some form of romance in children and Disney movies. That's what it leads to. So I saw that, and I said, well, and that's mom and dad. They're married. That's what they're supposed to do. Oh, they kiss, they hug, And I had a lot of married couples in my family, so I was used to saying that too. The way that woman was being loved in the soap opera scene, I said, that's not the default love I see. That's not the default engagement, interaction between couples that I see. This is different. I don't know why I felt it was different. I don't know why it was, at that time, I didn't know why. why I felt I want that. But what was more relative to me that added to that was the way I felt that girls around me, as I said, were treated. And I felt that when you hear the pet names, when you hear the language of nurturing, the language of
Endearing.
of endearment,
Yeah.
and some forms protection that consider your safety. I felt like all of that points to girls are loved more, and this is what comes after it. Separate from how couples engage each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm around that daycare, school, children around me at the playground, things of that nature. I see that a lot. I see that a lot with my family too, but this is more relative to my child's psyche.
Let me ask you, do you think that you were more aware or more alert, more sensitive to that? And I want to ask you about sensitivity in two ways because of how sensitivity is attributed to not necessarily being masculine, right? Mm-hmm. Were you sensitive in that you were more aware? Because I don't remember doing that, not consciously doing that, but
I know now I was very aware. I was very aware.
Do you think that you were were you like a more sensitive type of kid? You know how when you were younger, there boys
I was sensitive from the standpoint of generally sensitive. Somebody say he's sensitive or she's sensitive. Mm-hmm. That don't mean they're not masculine. It don't mean they're not. They don't have masculine.
Okay.
Or
not in the non-masculine.
Not in the
sense.
Not in the non-masculine or. I wasn't timid.
Okay, I got you.
I wasn't soft-spoken. You're not going to attack me or hurt me or make me feel inferior to you in any way.
So you weren't that kid.
No,
you weren't
absolutely
Yeah, I got. Okay,
not.
okay.
Let's double, triple down.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody was going to do nothing to me that I didn't want you to do.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
When I didn't even know about street violence and throwing my hands and all that, I knew I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me.
Right.
As a kid.
Yeah.
As a 3-year-old kid. As a 4-year-old kid. As a 5-year-old kid.
Right.
But I also was aware that I saw a difference in engagement to girls. So time goes on, and when I play house, when I play hide and go seek, in different occurrences, there were boys my age that I would always think is there other people that think like I think or are looking to experience the thoughts that I may be thinking from their own perspective. And you don't really know what that perspective is, but you're just saying, what if somebody wants to do what I want to do physically? And there were boys that wanted to do those things that I met in different areas of my life. I'm gonna say about ages about 5 to 7, 8-ish.
But what were those things in like? So you're about 5 and you're wondering what they're thinking. Well, so what are these things? What are these things in your mind?
I'm glad I was getting to that part next. So, and I wanted to set it up that way. I wanted to be the girl. I wanted to be loved like the girl. I wanted to be cared for like the girl. I wanted to be endeared like the girl. Because I felt that this leads you to more of the quest, the pathway to love.
Yeah.
So, there was no young man that would say, let's experiment. But if a young man, if I say, well, I'll be the girl, I'll be the mom, I'll be the wife.
Yeah.
Or if I'm just in a situation and I'm playing hide and go seek, and there was a more feminine young man that asked me one time, do you want to kiss? And I'm thinking in my head, like a light bulb went off, like, bet, he with it. Okay. There was another young man, more masculine, more boyish like me.
Yeah.
Presented the same thing to me. when we were overseas. So, and my light bulb went off. I said, okay, he's with it too. So, in my mind, even though that young man, one of the young man when he moved back to the States was more feminine, it still said, well, you still get to receive the affection that you seen the girl receive in the soap opera scene and the endearment leading up to it, because they wanted to reenact the idea that they're either they're the man, or they were boys, but they are treating the situation as a opportunity for romance. And that soap opera led me to the mindset that romance is a byproduct of being loved. So the more situations I had encountered, I said, well, I'm not going to throw it out there, but I'm okay. I'm looking forward to other boys that want to reenact these types of things with me.
Did this ever come into play with girls? Like, did you have?
Yeah. So at the age of when I was 6, I was still a boy on the surface.
Yeah.
I was still very much a boy. I still like girls, and girls are pretty to me, and
yeah,
I had crushes and all that type of stuff. I could see, well, she's beautiful, or I'm intrigued by her appearance.
Yeah.
At an early age. But this is where the down low mindset takes its origin. You know what you see and feel and apply your mind to on the surface, but you also know what you want under the surface. Anybody that puts something undercover or something that's clandestine, where you can't see it and it's hidden, they're an actor. You're really playing a role. And you're playing a role in both ways. I'm this then, at this time, or in this place, and I'm this in these places, and at these times. Batman is a great actor. Spider-Man, great actor.
Yeah.
Superman, great actor. Down low men, great actors.
Wow.
My brother said to me one time, I said, I played in a couple movies. I've played a villain. I played a...
You yourself?
Yeah, I played it, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Jason Henderson, the director and creator of Health Home Chronicles. In that movie, I played a former paramilitary amputee jewel thief. and I had a double mind, like schizophrenia, to my pursuit of this person that stole my jewels. So anyway, I told my brother, I said, I got to play this character, and I was thinking, man, I ain't no actor. How I'm gonna do this? He said, fool, shut up. He said another word. He said, ninja, shut up. He said, yes, you are. He said, you was acting when you was gay for 10 years.
Wow. Wow.
And I said, yo, you're right.
What comes to my mind is, and this conversation is enlightening for me because, that never been my frame of mind. There are just certain assumptions that I made. If a guy's gay, he probably was molested. If a guy's gay, his father wasn't around. You said your father was around.
My father was intrinsically in my life.
Wow.
My father was in every way that a great dad can be.
Yeah.
Good, great, very good, with all of the things, At some point, we all have thoughts of our parents from a child to adolescent to an adult, but all of the things that are related to good, he was the best dad he could be, and he was in our lives.
So check for dads. Did you ever have any unwanted sexual experiences when you were a kid?
Never raped. I was never molested.
Wow.
Nobody ever did anything to me where I felt violated.
Yeah.
And nobody ever did anything to me that I did not welcome or receive, or that they had authority over me, or they could control me or manipulate me. I did what I wanted to do. Anything that I did that was presented to me from the standpoint of sexual activity at the child ages, it was not, it's presented and then what are you doing? Don't do that. What? Stop. It was not. It was always, hey, here's the candy. Oh, I want some candy.
Wow.
Let's eat the candy.
How did that begin to escalate? Like, you're 5, you're playing house. How did that look as you get a little older, maybe in the middle school, in the high school? What is this?
When I got to about 8 years old, it kind of went dormant. We had moved from urban PG County. We used to, I didn't used to live too far from here. I used to live in a neighborhood called Fletcher's Field, not too far from PG Plaza.
Yeah.
Coming from Germany, and we even had a different accent when we moved from Germany. It was very proper. We spoke with a different vernacular because we had been over there almost a couple of years. We was in the hood, and I couldn't tell. I just saw, my brothers and sisters saw kids, and with multiple brothers and sisters, we outside playing.
Yeah.
We played football in the dirt, the street, all the things.
Yeah.
What I know now is there were more opportunities to do things like that because I saw more different kinds of kids. I met the feminine young man when I was in this first grade, second grade.
Yeah.
I met other kids and seeing other kids that were discovering who they were, that had a femininity. If not necessarily if I did anything with them, I just could see it. I saw more girls from a wide variety in how girls were treated. So the opportunities, and then still having a couple babysitter situations when I was in, when we were living in Fletcher's Field, the opportunities presented themselves a little more.
Wait. I don't want to just, you said a couple babysitter situations. So what does that mean? I don't want to breeze past that.
I understood.
Yeah.
Babysitter situations from the perspective of some people were still babysitting us.
Oh,
Parents
okay.
were still at work.
Okay.
Parents coming home later.
Okay.
So those situations, it was two situations where the feminine young man was around me a little more, and it was another situation where it was a young lady that was around me a little more because we were being babysitted or having an opportunity to be around other kids in more intimate settings.
Okay.
So, or close proximity settings.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I'm saying I use the word close proximity because it's the opportunity for those things to happen.
Yeah.
When we moved, we weren't getting babysitted no more.
Okay.
When we moved, we were latchkey kids. Most of the kids we know in our time don't open my door,
Right.
don't go outside until I get home. Ain't no babysitting. It's eat a snack, clean the house up, call me when you get in the house.
Watch one show, eat a snack, do your homework.
There we go. Do your homework. And when they about to get home, when we think they're home, we
They rush to the
fastest
cleanup.
cleaners in the history of cleanup.
That's true.
In seconds, the house is spick as span.
That's true.
So,
oh man.
And I use the word babysitter situations, the phrase, because many of these things happen in babysitter situations.
Yes.
And it doesn't
that's
always
why I
come
asked.
from the babysitter.
Right.
Some people say, well, the babysitter violated the kid. Nah, sometimes it's the kids that
Other
the
kids.
babysitter has he or she is babysitting.
Yes.
Sometimes it's the kids that are friends with the kids
Yeah.
that the babysitter is babysitting.
Right.
Sometimes the kids know other kids. They go outside with other kids. They
Yeah.
play the game with other kids. They make new friends with other kids. And other kids, remember what I said, being in a larger variety of kids,
Right.
coming back to the States, you see more things. You see more, there are more occurrences, more diverse family dynamics, more secret things that are revealed in different situations when the opportunity presents itself. You hear more conversations.
Yeah.
You hear more about sex. You hear more about gay. You hear more about tough. You hear more about gangsters. You hear more about fighting. You hear more about things that are related to sex, different slang and things of that nature. So my antennas were heightened to that.
Right.
And like I said, the babysitter situations was still a little prevalent at that time in our lives. Moving to where we moved to Fort Washington, Maryland. Latchkey kids. There wasn't that. So now it's just be a boy. Be a boy all the way. What I noticed was there were times when I could still switch in my mind. I'm gonna act like a girl right now. I'm gonna act feminine right now. And then there was times where I could say, nah, I ain't gonna act like that right now. I'm acting like this. So the times when you would catch me being masculine was 90% of the time. The times when you would catch me being feminine, the times you would catch me being not as masculine in even some senses. Never, like I said, never timid, never soft, never the pin cushion. Is when I felt being like the girl would benefit me. So even with my teachers, I may talk a certain way. Around certain peer groups, I may talk a certain way. In certain situations with adults, I may talk a certain way. When I didn't feel that would benefit me, I didn't do that. And I had noticed even how, I even thought how girls were treated on a scholastic level.
Yeah.
It was like, it's just a little different.
Yeah, you're right.
If a girl is a great student, and coming up, the endearment, the social emotional endearment she gets from instructional staff, teacher staff, it just was slightly different. And even the boys that were less masculine, it was slightly different. The boys that were hyper masculine or just generally masculine, it was general. It's like they're recognized, but they're recognized at a space where in a sense that says, your personality is accepted by default. We know you're a boy, you're a young man, or you're a man, and that's it. You safe, you can take care of yourself, you okay, you know how to speak up.
Yeah.
You're gonna get dirty, you're gonna fall, you'll be all right.
Right.
Oh, you're supposed to do that.
You'll be all right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well,
yeah.
He does good, she does good. Even if there's an issue with that really good masculine young man, he gonna get over it. He crying, he gonna be all right, he gonna get through it. It was never diving in deeper to how I feel or how those boys feel.
Yeah.
I've even heard teachers say, you ought to figure that out. And I don't think they did it to be malicious. It was just the culture we grew up in.
Yeah.
So now that I'm in Fort Washington, going to the elementary school I'm in, and I'm seeing those things, I started accepting more that on the surface I am a masculine boy. But behind the surface in my mind, the back of my brain, I'm pointing the back of my brain, I'm thinking to myself, you still on that quest to be loved like the girl in that soap opera scene. There's just not an opportunity. I talked about the babysitter situations.
Yeah. Talked
about the variety of things you hear with families that also may deal with lust.
Yeah.
Clandestine lust, generational situations that may have multiplied to their kids, to their nieces, their nephews, to their cousins, living in the urban setting, seeing that on a scale where older kids or with younger kids hearing things you shouldn't see. I'm not hearing that over here now. I'm not hearing it as much. And what I'm just trying to do now is discover the full dexterity of being an outgoing boy. While I have this thought in the back of my brain, the devil has a way of presenting the things that we secretly desire and the things we've been exposed to, presenting it to us again to where we can see it again. Presenting it to us where we could see it, hear about it, understand it, and it be presented in a way where it makes us curious and it makes us say, okay, well, what if I can engage with this, touch this, feel this, partake of this? What if I could eat this fruit? What if it ain't gonna surely die? What if it ain't gonna really kill me? What if I'm gonna be as a God and know good and evil? What if I'm gonna know all things? Yeah. And you really look at how things are presented to us as kids. That's how we see it. I ain't gonna really get kidnapped if I leave the house without my mother's permission.
Right.
I ain't gonna really die. I ain't gonna really go to jail if I steal this from the store one time.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna really get addicted to porn if I just watch this sex scene real quick.
Yeah. And which makes me think, because we talked about this earlier, introduction to porn and how that kind of...
That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
So the way he presented it to me, the the belly of lust is what had been presented to me at 5. I just didn't know it was lust. The pathway to lust, to a strangling lust, had been presented to me at 5. I just didn't know that. The feeding of the monster of lust had been presented to me through those occurrences with other boys. I just didn't know it. When I was 9, I lost my virginity to a girl who was 9. We were in the same class.
Wow.
Now, this is
At
how,
9.
Now this is how it was presented. Now mind you, somebody may be thinking, where was this boy's parents? Once again, I grew up in a 2-parent household. We grew up in church, loving parents, disciplined us, corrected us, cared about us. My extended family loved me. Put that on the shelf for a second. I thought all of that was by default. By default.
This is just supposed to happen.
Yeah, supposed to happen. But there's a caveat that I'll get to shortly, that aided the want for love, or the want to desire to be loved and feel the endearment and feel the age-appropriate affection that a child should feel. So at 9, the way lust was presented to me, again, on a more grandiose scale. I was on the bus with 2 female neighborhood friends of mine, and we're talking about sex scenes. And we're talking about what sex scenes we've seen. And we're describing them. And then there's like, I'm trying to describe, trying to one up one kid, one other kid trying to one up another kid. They said, I guarantee you ain't seen what we seen. So I said, okay. They said, when we get off the bus, come to the crib. We're gonna show you. So I go home, get off the bus, I get in the door. I'm like, it's beaming in my head now. I want to go see what they talking about.
Yeah.
I saw Boys in the Hood. I think I saw one other scene, like, the Boys in the Hood scene when she went.
When Trey lied. When he
Trey
lied about his
Trey
spirit.
Yeah. And he run about the house.
Yeah.
That was the most vivid scene I seen. So I'm like, I know I seen like that. That was crucial.
Yeah.
So, and then like, I think 5 Heartbeats maybe. When Leon is in the dressing room.
Oh
he's
yeah.
stepping on
You see his feet though.
Yeah. So you thinking?
Yeah, right.
You think what you see is real, or is vivid as you.
But just that small
Part,
thing.
yeah, you like, what's this?
Plays in your mind.
It plays in my mind. And then the soap opera sex scene, right? So I'm like, all that points back to what I thought I saw.
Yeah.
I get over there. I go to the backyard, go across the street, because they live right behind the backyard across the street. Their house was like directly like a corner, like a bend in the corner behind the backyard and to my house. And their houses were across the street from each other, like parallel.
Yeah.
Get to the crib, get to their house. Remember on In Too Deep, he's like, Jay Reed.
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
LL Cool
J. You ain't no cop, Jay Reed.
Yeah, right? So he said, and then God, I don't know what you got going on now. He said, nigga, just keep it moving. So that's how I felt like they was talking to me. They like,
you talking about
when we
the
be young with the pool stick. Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
they like, I'm like, where we going? They like, man, just going downstairs. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So I get downstairs, and they say, watch this. And they put in this VHS tape. XXX hardcore porn. I ain't have a clue in my mind who Vanessa Del Rio was. I knew that day.
Wow.
And for a kid that saw, or what is I know now is a general daytime regular sex scene.
That's just normal.
That's a normal sex, like a normal romance scene.
Yeah.
To what I saw that day, I was like, what? So now my synapses are beaming to Scotty.
Man,
So
at 9.
and they knew this is look at this. They were 9-year-old girls too. They knew what it was.
Yeah.
They knew vividly what it was. They were smiling and like, I told you, look, told you. Like they was giving, like, they had a heightened understanding and identification of the parts of the, I ain't gonna get into all the stuff, but you've seen porn, you know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
They knew. So, and they were more advanced in knowing what it was than me.
Yeah.
So let me be plain to the parents out there. Stop thinking. As much as I am madly in love with Christ Jesus, as much as I know the power of his transformation that happened in my life, as much as I know that all authority is given to us in his name over all principalities, spiritual wickedness, rulers of the darkness in high places, and over the prince of the power of the air. The prince of the power of the air still roams in the air, in the airwaves, in social media, on TV, on the radio, in conversations. That is what he influences. He is, the Bible says, the God of this world has blinded the minds of them lest they believe. And the world, meaning this environment of ideals and cultures and feelings and systems, that is what he is in control of on this, in this realm. And he has the ability to influence in a variety of ways, that even though you take your kids to church, and even though you don't let your kids watch certain things, and even though you govern and you police what your kids are around, he still has the opportunity to present himself or present things to our children that directly oppose the Lord. So my encouragement is, continue doing what you're doing. If you're monitoring, you're governing, if you're policing, if you are removing any opportunity or decreasing the opportunities for your kids to be influenced by things that you don't want them to be influenced by, also give them attention. Also give them real love. Also explain to them what real love is. Also talk to them. Also share with them the things that the world is going to try to share with them, before the world influences them and presents it in a form of corruption and not a form of knowledge. And the reason I say that is because when I was presented with this, once you're presented with porn at a childlike age, you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee that.
You cannot unsee it. You cannot unfeel it. You can't unfeel the imagination of what it would feel like when we see macaroni and cheese, baby back ribs, pizza on commercials. We like, hey, that's good.
I want my baby back.
You know what I'm saying? Cheerleaders. You can't unsee it.
Right.
Once you see, like when I saw Rocky when I was 5.
Yeah.
I couldn't unsee Carl Weathers and Rocky fighting in Rocky 1 and Rocky 2, and that was just the images I saw in Rocky 4. Now I want to see Rocky 1 and Rocky 2.
Yeah.
I want to see Rocky 3. I could not see Ivan Drago beating the brakes off Apollo and Rocky come back and fight him. And you want to feel that rush, that experience as an athlete.
Right.
Same when you see graphic sexual images. Now, why did I say still give your children love and attention? The right attention. I love my father before he passed. We were great friends before he passed. I was never raped. I was never molested. In spite of what I'm about to tell you, my dad was a great dad. My dad sacrificed tickets to get turn working for me to get A's. My dad, when he was in the Army National Guard, and he couldn't stay for his lunch break at my football game, he would come to the game and stick his hand through the gate. Vic, I'm just letting you know I'm here.
Yeah.
It was a great dad. I brought tears in my eyes. He did it, and we lost that game that day. But I played like I thought I was one sap that day. I played on it's crazy. I played on the D line. A lot of people were like, Vic ain't playing. People watching that know me. I played on the D line for a long time. I was strong, very strong. So, but still, here we go. At the age of 5, my dad physically abused me. He picked me up and shook me. One time he got real angry at me. I had a little accident on the floor in the bathroom. I was trying to come back and clean it up. And I didn't get back to it enough time before he got in the bathroom. He said, who did this? And I was trying to say I did it, and I was trying to explain to him it was an accident. He picked me up and shook me. From that day, it added to girls are loved differently. it just piled on to the fact that
Yeah.
girls were loved differently.
Yeah.
Girls get more affection. Girls get more endearment. Girls get more emotional support.
Yeah.
In addition to now seeing porn, wanting the love from the soap opera scene, wanting the affection that the general affection, just when you arrive and you exist in the space, you're going to get the general human consideration that doesn't necessarily require physicality
Yeah.
or toughness. Now the adversary said, I have prepared the table for him. I have prepared the opportunity
Yeah.
for him to make a decision. That's what he did for Adam and Eve.
Right.
I have prepared the table. I have shown them this fruit and what this fruit can potentially be to them.
Yeah.
What the result could be. And
Right.
we keep saying could be.
Yeah.
I have shown them what this fruit can give them the influence of, the knowledge of, if you just try it. So many of us have been presented with some form of fruit that is so alluring, it's so enticing, it's so logical, it's so practical, it's so attention grabbing, it's so fitting for the moment that we're in. Wow. Maybe I want, well, this happened to me. Well, they did this to me. Well, they ain't never make me feel I was abused. I ain't never had this. We ain't never had nothing. Well, let me show you this. Maybe you can get what you need from that.
Wow.
So, from that moment, seeing the porn, that young lady and I, one of the young ladies, later we would reenact everything we saw.
Wow.
So I was far advanced in my mind.
At 9, you were reenacting.
Like when I heard these Joe songs and R. Kelly songs,
Yeah.
and Silk, I knew what them songs meant.
My goodness.
Like it wasn't over my head.
Preteen,
Yeah,
you
I
knew
knew
what those songs meant.
Yeah, so by the time I was in middle school, I had not only had the occurrences I had with boys at an early age, I had real graphic sexual situations with girls.
Wow.
I'm saying I was doing stuff with girls that my older cousins like, you lying. You ain't do that, bro. You lying. No, I'm not.
Wow.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. And they would really like clown me like I was lying. I'm not lying. And it almost made me feel like it's something you ain't do yet.
Right.
But nah, I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But it just was lust was growing. The lust canal was growing longer. Why I thought I was going after love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because still in the back of my brain, I'm saying I want to be the guy now. I definitely want to be the guy now. But now I see how girls respond when they are loved, when they're cared for, when they get affection, when they get romantic activity done to them. A parts of that is still in my brain after seeing porn. But lust is what's driving this car now.
Yeah.
Lust is what's galloping this horse ride.
When did that transition into boys? I mean, like, were those experiences happen to you as young as they were with the experiences you had with girls?
It transitioned more to boys because the quest to be loved like the girl never left.
Yeah.
So now lust is saying, well, hey, now you see what girls get, what girls do, what girls receive, how girls respond, how girls act. So if you want to be loved like the girl, you have to fully become what girls are sexually.
Wow.
So I know somebody watching this may say, yeah, he's saying a lot, he going around a lot, he picking up a part of a lot of different parts of it. I set all that up to come right at that spot. All of that, babysitter situations, vast variety of different experiences from different people where demonic strongholds have affected their families and the conversations you hear. The situation with my dad being physically abused, seeing how girls were treated around me, whether school or my normal life, pointing all the way to, all of that is that. But now, if you want to be, I done showed you, little pieces of candy enough. I done gave you an ounce. I done gave you an 8-ball.
Yeah.
I done showed you a bullet. I done showed you a little bit of money.
A taste.
I done showed you taste.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I showed you a little bit of discrimination. I showed you a little joke about a little bigot joke. Now if you see what I'm saying?
flipped
You see
it.
how wickedness is presented in taste?
Yeah.
Now if you're gonna really be a racist, this what you got to do.
Right.
Now if you're really gonna be a drug dealer, this what you got to do.
Yeah.
Now if you're really gonna be a gangster, this what you got to do. Now if you're really gonna be in the lust world, this what you got to do. Now if you're really gonna be a liar, a thief, this what you got to do.
Yeah.
And I showed you bits and pieces, and it felt good to you. It felt good to you, didn't it? The fruit looked good to you, didn't it? That's what you got to do. So when I heard that, I said, well, I got to be loved like the girl. So this is what I got to do. So from the age of 11 until 22,
11 years.
on into high school, having more occurrences with boys my age, young men my age, lesbian girls, masculine lesbian girls, because I put it like this. Everything a female porn star was, I was.
Wait. So you are having experience with masculine lesbians.
Yes.
Okay. We grown. What are these experiences like?
They had straps.
My goodness.
They had this, they have the phallus that is an appearance of a penis.
Yeah.
And I wanted to experience what a girl experiences, and so I could become more of the persona of a girl.
Wow.
So, like I said, boys my age, lesbian girls. As I got to college, transgender women, transgender men. Some people may say they're not women, they're transgenders. I was engaged with, and at this point, I'm like, I'm going to be loved like the girl. That is it's starting to grow as it's a thought in my mind. It's my other character. And then we talked about Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. You know, at first, Peter like, what the heck? My head's standing up. I can stand on the wall.
Right.
He ain't really embracing it yet.
Yeah.
Batman just blown because his parents got shot.
Right.
Superman, little kid. He
Yeah.
touched something and the whole wall fall over.
Yeah.
It takes a while before he embraces the other character that I have to play. Whether I'm Clark Kent, whether I'm Superman, whether I'm Peter Parker, whether I'm Spider-Man, whether I'm Bruce Wayne, whether I'm Batman. Now I'm starting to embrace that this is what comes with my other character. So as I got to college, I remember I was in a friend of mine when I was in college. We were talking about church one day, and we were talking about sin, and then we got on the topic of homosexuality. And I had, on the surface, my response was, people shouldn't do that and still operate in church and offices that's supposed to honor God. I just think if I'm a sin, I'm gonna do it. I ain't gonna mix the two. She said, well, how can you say that? I sin daily. I'm still trying to figure myself out daily. So sin is sin. How can you make one sin greater than the other?
Yeah.
And that day is when I really started to accept. Like at that point, I just was still, I confront this character when it's just me and this character. When I'm not the character, I'm fully masculine Victor. I'm a football player. I lift weights. I fight if I need to fight. I'm a womanizer. I can't count how many girls I slept with.
Wow.
I don't bring the two together so they can respect one another. Let me say that again. I don't bring the two together so they can respect one another. I keep them separate.
This sounds like two completely
Different people.
Yes. My goodness.
So that day I said, you will never make fun of a gay person ever again. You will never make a sexually inappropriate statement about gay people ever again.
You were living this way and still.
And now my mind, I'm not gay. So many down on me say, I'm not gay.
Wow.
I'm not gay. I ain't gay. No, they have to believe it. You have to believe it.
But why? But why do you have to believe it?
Because in their mind, all of the cultural, religious, I'm gonna say religious and or faith-based concepts, dogma, stances that come from it, your mind says, or our, at that time, me, them, all the people that have that life, their mind says, I can't, for whatever reason, be come public with this. I can't be outed for this. I can't be exposed that this is who I am. And so many down low men will take this to their graves for whatever reason. Whether you don't like the name of Jesus, can't stand the name of Jesus, you serve another God, have another faith, you're atheist, agnostic, whatever. So many men will just take it to their grave because they don't want nobody to know about it. Like, I mean, it will kill you to keep it a secret. It's some brothers that took transgender individuals' lives because they didn't know the person was transgender. Let alone some that will kill because they did know and they don't want nobody to know about it. But these were two different people. So when she said that day, I said, nah, you can't be two different people no more. At least not secretly. Y'all have to get along with each other. So I said, all right, Vic, people used to make fun about gay people, I wouldn't say nothing. My homies, my brother, my best friend, his cousin, like all of us, we tight. When they make gay jokes, I said, I told them years later, I said, this is after my transformation. I said, y'all notice at a certain point, I didn't laugh no more when y'all used to say stuff like that. I didn't make jokes about it.
Yeah.
I didn't join in. And my man said, you right, Vic, you didn't. I said, nah, because I knew what she was saying was right. And I said it was hypocritical that for me to have an issue with people that are living that life, whether they come into church or not, and I'm secretly gay. So lust is now rampant. Because I'm not just going to homosexual orgies, I'm going to heterosexual swinger parties. I was heavy in the life of lust.
So Vic, what you're doing to me here is like you have a timeline, but then you have these dumps of like, oh yeah, by the way, I was at swinger parties too. Like that's like, there's so much. I know we don't have all the time in the world. There's just so many different rooms that you go into. But I have to ask, how do you now go? End up and you at swinger parties? Like, what is? Are you still in college?
I was in college when I got introduced to swinger parties. It was a girl I used to talk to for some time. I was home one weekend and she said, "You want to go to this party?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "There's a lot of girls there." I said, "Okay, yeah." So her girlfriend picks me up. She said, "All right, I got to tell you something. Don't be mad at me." She's like, "I'm bringing you to a swinger party," and I was like, "What you done got me into?" But in my mind, I'm kind of curious because I know what I do secretly. She don't know.
Okay.
She was like, "It's a swinger party. People have sex. If you meet, you talk, you engage. If you want to have sex, you gonna have sex. People share their husbands, their wives, their girlfriends. You're gonna enjoy it." So I said, "All right." I get there, big bowl of weed on the table, big like punch bowl of weed, liquor everywhere, half dressed, scantily dressed women, half naked, whatever, porn all over the TV. It is a carnal playground.
Wow.
Of lasciviousness.
Wow. Like you just put a picture.
Yes.
On a playground. Wow.
Yeah. So I attended these off and on, you say regularly, frequently.
How are you feeling like is this, are you feeling any weight? A lot of times you'll hear people when they're, they're doing certain things, maybe involved in certain things, certain lifestyle, whatever the choice is.
The weight was, I'll tie this weight to it. I didn't bring this up earlier. When I was in elementary school, I was made fun of a lot because of my skin tone. What clothes I didn't have. You bleed oil, you sweat chocolate, you rub your skin, smoke gonna come out.
Right.
You got Payless shoes on, you got Payless steel toe boots on. Like, kids was cruel.
Yeah, well, especially around here. That was
because it was crazy because the suburban kids that were affluent, they would joan a lot about what you didn't have.
Yes, that was
even working in the inner city for the past decade as I've been working. Most of them kids don't joan about what people don't got.
Right, because
they may talk about stuff that really hit you to the core that you can't control.
Yeah.
If they really want to respond or react because you said something or did something that offended them. But I don't really hear them joning about what you don't got. Like kids that do that they're there, but they're not the majority of that population.
Yeah.
So becoming in a room and just being made fun of because you just exist.
Yeah.
It was like, bruh, I want to feel the opposite. I want to feel the love. I want to be able to walk into a space like the girls.
And that's the weight.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the added part of the weight.
Okay.
I wanted to be loved like the girls. I wanted to have masculine affection, masculine endearment from my dad that I didn't get for a while. You see what's around you and how boys are treated as you're going down the roadmap, the pathway of lust, looking for love, and then being verbally bullied. I was never physically bullied. Like, I'm looking for I used to bully the bullies. In like fifth or sixth grade, it was the time where I was like, I need time to show these youngers what it is. But verbal, because you can fight with me, youngers ain't gonna joan on you.
All right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I knew some kids that we considered nerds that was vicious. They was some of the funniest youngers you ever gonna meet in your life.
Hey, that was my fight.
And they can make the toughest kids go. I just said it. Like and cook you. And then I went to Oxon Hill High School, so it was a Jonas smorgasbord. You walk in the door, boy, I'm about to frame you. Come here.
That's real.
Like, and it would go, man. This could happen at random. Somebody gonna cook you.
But so good. Because I'm trying to get back to, because you're having these experiences and like
So that weight added to the feeling of when you're in a space of carnal pleasures. I had the things that I felt unconfident about, I didn't feel unconfident about anymore. I would feel confident in my appearance. Like at that time, girls see that like, oh, he look, who he? You know,
passed the eye test.
Yes. So now I do, and I'm in a space where my muscles are respected. My muscles get the recognition, the care, the affection, the attention that says we are drawn to you.
Yeah.
Is this the love? Is this what the girl got in the soap opera scene that she gets just because? When I used to come to swinger parties, I got that just because. I remember two bad joints. I'm coming to swinger joint. I seen her being a swinger. I'm somewhere and I was doing what I was doing, but I'm like, oh, okay. And I seen her friend, they was bad. And they, you know what I'm saying? I walk in the joint, they pointing, I'm like, okay, baby.
Wow.
One of them nights. So that added to covering up the weight of inadequacy.
Wow. Yeah. That's a validation.
Yes.
Yeah.
But going to the homosexual orgies was validation on steroids. Because I'm the woman. I walk like a woman. I switch like a woman. I could change my voice like a woman. On the phone, when I used to talk to men on the phone, they used to think I was a chick.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I wanted to do everything to touch every part of a man's mind to feel how they feel when they're with a woman. Seduction was a premium. Submission was a premium for a man to feel like he's a king with me for the moment, have an awesome experience, awesome carnal experience. So when I got to the space in my mind where that was more of what I wanted than just being with girls, that's when it started to play in my mind. Maybe you just should just come out publicly as gay.
Wow. And I was going to ask you, because you were talking about your close friends, family members saying, you remember when gay jokes was being made, I didn't say anything. What was it like coming out to them?
Later, it was a lot easier than I thought.
Oh, really?
A lot easier. It was hard for them, but I was transformed by the power of Christ Jesus. If any man be in Christ, he's a new creature. Old things have passed away, all things have become new. So I didn't come out to them until after my experience with Christ.
Oh.
So yeah, they didn't know. Look, I was a down on, nobody knew. My cousin said this. He said, Vic, you was Rick Rossing us. He was like, Rick done created a whole
right.
drug dealer cartel life.
Off of the real Ricky Ross.
Yeah. Convertible Burt and all them people.
Yeah.
He was like, Vic Ross. Vic got a whole nother story.
Yeah.
This is a farce to sell records.
Right.
And he was joking, but I was like, then he said, but then again, why would a man in the DMV, black man, make up a story like that?
Yeah.
Tell vivid stories like that.
Right.
Write a book about it like that.
Yeah.
Tell testimonies like that. Who got the time to deal with the smoke that's gonna come with it?
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it got to the point where I was saying, I think I'll be loved more if I just come out completely as gay. I think I'll have more liberty. I'll have more jurisdiction of what I can control about how I want to feel. My identity will feel more solidified and validated if I just come out as gay. I didn't know the adversary was walking me to the corruption of the image that I was created in. I was created in the image of God. The original pronouns. In the beginning, God created he, him. Male and female. He created man in his image. And he created man in his image, he, him. And male and female, he, them. Original pronouns. He said, let us create man in our image. Us. You know, those one of the pronouns of they, us. And they create, and I'm saying they, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, or the Word and the Holy Spirit, let us create man in our image. They created man in their image, in our image. And he created man, he, him. Male and female, he, them. He wanted to take me so far from that and just say, no, you're just who you want to be. You are whatever you imagine yourself to be. You're a woman. You're a man that can be a woman. You're a woman that lives in a man's body.
What would you say to a person that says, but that's free? Like, I'm liberated when I can be what I want to be.
It depends on how what they're saying to me about wanting to know more about my testimony, or what is the other side of what you're saying. How does that equate to me? I don't present this to people just to say you're wrong, you're living in sin, you're not righteous, because a broken and contrite heart he will not despise. Being made in his image, being a new creature by his spirit, he draws us to broken and contrite hearts that are ready to receive the word of our testimony through the blood of the Lamb.
And tell me, broken and contrite, like that could be Bible speak.
I'm about to say it. I'm about to say it. So, in other words, if people don't come to you asking you for encouragement or to support because they don't want to be that way anymore, they're struggling with it, they need help because it has destructive things have happened to them because of that.
If they haven't come to the end of
it. If they haven't come to the end where they're saying, can you support me? Can you help me? Can you lead me to salvation according to what man is supposed to be? If they're even saying, I know the difference of what I'm supposed to be. I want to know something opposite than the life I'm living. Leave them alone.
If they're not doing that,
leave them alone. Because the Father, who the earth is his and all that dwell within, and the fullness thereof, being the author of the time, he's the author of all time, he's the Alpha and Omega, meaning occurrences, chronological time, and kairos time, when seasons change and things shift. He will present himself in all of those occurrences, or he will make the opportunity for that person to be visited, be confronted with the opportunity to get to know him in the image that he's made us in, whether you are male or female. Forcing it on people, beating people in the head with it, is not necessarily, and many times, not necessarily going to win them. And many times it caused a greater divide for them getting to know him in the way that you think they should know him. And when people say, what do you say to a person like that? In my brain, I say, I know what to pray for. In my mind and heart, I say, I know what to pray for.
So your stance is not to make anybody believe anything.
No. My stance is to present it to you. Paul said, for I'm fully persuaded. So Jesus presented himself to him. Why do you persecute me?
Wow, with a question. Not a directive, a question. Wow.
He could not recognize him as Lord. He could not recognize him as the Lord and understanding who he is, or he could recognize him as that. He recognized him as that. I believe it was Nicodemus that prayed over him and gave him sight when he was blind. Now he said, I'm going to go out and evangelize this for the rest of my life. He could have hardened his heart, like Pharaoh. Pharaoh had opportunities to recognize the great Jehovah Elohim as Lord. He did not want to. Every time the plague was removed back, it made him madder. Harden wasn't because God just hardened his heart because he wanted them to be against him. No, it was hardening his heart because he was whooping them. I'm embarrassing you in front of all your people that say you are the God. You are the night and the morning star.
Because it could be taken that God gave him those feelings. You're saying he got that as a result.
Yeah, as a result. Every
happening.
time he said, nah, you can't let him go. Every time he didn't do it, he would ask Moses to take away the plague. He would pray to God and he would take away the plague. And then he'd say, now these people are going to see that your God took away the plague. No, you can't take him back. That was hardening his heart. So I don't press it on people. Now what I do is I tell my story. And my story is that on January 2nd, 2011, I fell in love with Christ Jesus. Now, how did I do that? How did it get to that point? I was getting ready to come out as gay. And at the time, I had a girlfriend who is my wife today. 15 years. 15 years. 15 years. We were dating, and I wanted to love her more, but there was a divide because I'm another character. You know, like somebody undercover and they're a cop, but they're in love with the criminal girl. Or the girl that's with the criminals. And she's like, did you ever love me? He can't really tell her whether he loved her or not because he a cop. You know what I'm saying?
You backed in too deep.
She didn't want Jay Reed. She wanted whatever, I forget what his name was. She wanted the regular guy. So my wife at the time, my girlfriend, she didn't even know that person existed. So
this is not swinger party girlfriend. This is
nah. She wasn't my swinger party. She was my regular girlfriend.
Wow.
And it was one more thing that added to the weight of trying to cover up the insecurity, the longing for love, the longing for adequacy, the longing for validation, the longing for affection that preserved me, the longing for joy without the activity of surrendering myself carnally or sexually, just existing and being loved because I exist. It allowed other things to cover up those pits in my heart. One of the things that I used to do that on the surface was a regular thing. I used to throw parties. Me and my best friend used to throw college parties. The door was our door. The DJ was our DJ. We used to promote at Hampton University, ODU, Old Dominion University, and Norfolk State. We used to shut them campuses down. We put flyers on every door, every bathroom, every car, every dining hall. We was up. We was making like $4,000 a night.
I believe it.
I stood up in one of them parties one night and be like, man, this can't be it. There's got to be more than this. I feel empty. Started having sex with girls, multiple girls. in regular situations, or was having sex with multiple girls and feeling like turning over in the bed, like, I don't even want to be here right now. Leaving the swinger parties, the heterosexual swinger parties, saying, I feel hollow. Leaving the all-male orgies and saying, if I could just grab a hold of this. So I'm getting ready to, I'm like, I used to be in front of my girl, and I'd be about to tell her, like, I could never fix my mouth to say it. So I said, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move to Atlanta. I don't know why I said Atlanta. I'm gonna move to Atlanta.
You about to ghost her?
Yeah, so I'm gonna move to Atlanta. I'm gonna tell my brother and my best friend I'm alive, but I'm gay. I can't be with you. I tell mom and dad I'm alive. I'm okay. I'm gonna tell her I can't be with you when I move to Atlanta. I'm gay.
Wow.
But January 2nd, 2011, God had another plan. He had already had that plan to present himself to me. The same way my story is presented to other people that are of that life. The same way the greatness of Jehovah was presented to Pharaoh. The same way the glory of Christ Jesus was presented to Paul. Me and my girlfriend at the time, we throw a New Year's Eve party. We turn up, smoking, drinking, all the things.
The girl?
Same girlfriend. This is my wife today.
Okay,
like,
okay.
The thing, like a lot of people say, you know, when they meet me, a lot of my church colleagues will be like, man, Vic, you've been holy forever, boy. Boy, you speak in the spirit, talking about the things of God. Boy, Vic, you had a wild life when? And they really sit down and hear my story and be like, dang.
Yeah.
Because I was heavy in the sin life. Because I felt it was going to fulfill me. Oh, Kurabasa, you got to excuse me. Now I know that the life in Christ does fulfill me. I don't think it's going to fulfill me. We're going to get to that. So we threw the party. I was still kind of hungover the day after January 1st. January 2nd, mother said, y'all going to church? My mother was still on, she was on that for a lot of years. You living here, you're going to church, you're getting out. All right. My dad would say, yep, come on, gotta go to church. Gotta go to church. And my father would catch you in the corner, he gonna preach to you. My mother ain't gonna preach to you, she gonna scold you. And give you she gonna give you the word, father gonna preach to you, he gonna talk to you long too. So I ain't wanna get wrapped up. So in a lot of them situations I would avoid. So go to church. The bishop says at the altar call, Victor, come to the front. He called me. He say this in his prayer, now go sin no more. That stuck with me. That stuck with me all day. I was perturbed. I keep hearing this voice tell me, go sin no more, go sin no more, go sin no more. I'm like, bro. And I knew feminine Victor and masculine Victor were saying, we have to discuss this. We got to talk about this. Overly masculine Victor is a part of this trio. Overly masculine Victor, super womanizing Victor, feminine Victor, and then Victor. We got to talk about this. So I get home, after hearing this voice all day, I'm trying to walk into my room, and I'm trying to get in my doorway, and I can't get in my doorway, so I throw myself into my room. I know now it was not me. It was the Spirit of the Lord. I was on my knees, and I was hollering, screaming. And if you could translate my screams and hollers, I was saying, let me be gay.
Really?
Yes. And what I was saying to him is, it's my identity. It's who I am. Everything has pointed to this. I explain all of the things the way I explain them, whether academically, whether eloquently, with a little bit of jokes, with some experiences, with some understandings that we had to clarify, because it was pointing all to what I felt I now was. And I was screaming and hollering. and then I'd kind of gasped out some air. But then I built up some more energy and some more passion to say what I needed to say. Some more history of anger and frustration with this presence. And I knew, yeah, I could tell who you are. I know it's the Spirit of the Lord, yeah, but I didn't represent the Spirit of the Lord right now. I just knew you in this room with me. So I need to tell you why I need to be gay. I said, I'm ugly. Everybody said I was made fun of. I'm insecure. My father shook me. It took away the validity or the validation of love that I felt I was supposed to get. It left me hollow from not getting the preservation of a love from a father to a son. I said, I feel inadequate. I'm afraid. That stuff adds to inadequacy and fear. The people on the surface are not really my friends that I think are my friends. Like everybody I'm around, I'm throwing these parties and I'm dressing a certain way, getting a little money, having sex with girls and all the rest of that. You don't know what it's like to be me. Remember I said before, a broken and contrite heart he will not despise. I was at the space where he presented himself to me and I was broken and contrite.
Yeah.
This is a nugget, people of God. If you're gonna present this to someone, present it in this way. Pray that the Spirit of the Lord visits them and gives you an opportunity to minister to them. Not beat them in the head with what you want to tell them. And you might go talk to a person about the transformation and the opposite of that life, homosexual life, the lust life, the racist life, the drug dealer life, the gossip life, the thief life. You might tell them about that. You see, I just named several things that oppose God.
Yeah.
The fornication life, the alcoholic life, the drug addict life. You might want to tell them about that. But unless they are ready to receive it, unless their soil is cultivated to receive it, they're not going to hear it. At that moment, I was so broken and contrite that I had poured out myself as much as I could. I ain't nothing else I could say. And then, this is where the Spirit of the Lord steps in. So now I can present myself to him in a way he didn't know me. He said I was publicly ridiculed. I was publicly defamed. I was publicly betrayed. I was tortured. And then I was murdered because I love you. I said, what? I was ready for him to be like, hell!
Yeah.
You're not my, I was ready for some wrath of God. Because you know, you ain't supposed to argue with God and tell God what you're supposed to be. And then you're going to tell God you're supposed to be gay. That ain't of God. And all the things of God. So I'm ready for a calamity or a cataclysmic response from him.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. That's what I heard. Like I can hear you talking to me right now.
Yeah.
And I said, I was ready to, you know, spar with him. But I was disarmed. Another nugget. Let the Holy Spirit disarm people. No matter what person it is, let the Spirit disarm them. Let time with the Holy Spirit, with the Alpha and the Omega, let that disarm them.
Yeah.
He said, he cut right to the chase. Give me homosexuality. Give me fornication. Give me drinking. Give me smoking. Give me belligerence, cursing, reveling. Give me all them things. Give me parties. Give me all that. All the things that you feel validate you. Homosexuality ain't no different than smoking and drinking and cussing and fighting and partying. It ain't, and partying that usher in all of those spirits. 6 things does God hate. 7 of them are abomination. Abomination is no different meaning than the word abomination in Leviticus 18:22, that man shall not lay with man as they lay with woman, for it is an abomination. It's the same meaning. He hates that. He hates the 6 things that he hates. 6 things that he hates, 7 of them abomination. Those are the reasons that Lucifer was kicked out of heaven, because those things were in his heart. Backbiting, swift to murder, gossiping, hating your brother, pride. All of those things were in his heart, because he said These things must now have an origin for me to exalt myself above him. To exalt myself above the Most High, I must think of all the things that would benefit me. Then the third of the angels looked at him and said, hey, well, we don't quite disagree with you. All of y'all got to go. Homosexuality, in the beginning, when there was that war in heaven that exiled him, was not activated yet.
Right.
The concept of missing the mark of the glory of God was created in Lucifer's rebel of him, in Lucifer's idea of overthrowing him, but it wasn't activated until Adam ate the fruit. Now the ability for these things to play out in human flesh in a myriad of ways and a diversity of ways has now a host to do it from. So when he said, give me all of those things and I'm gonna give you my love, and you see how it feels. What he was telling me is my love conquers all knowledge. And my love conquers all fear, that if you don't have these things, you will not be validated. You will not be fulfilled. And then I said, let me just see what it's like if I really call him Lord and I say he's Lord and I believe he's Lord. The God of this world has blinded the minds of them, lest the light of the gospel should shine upon their heart. That's what it says in the word. The light of the gospel shined. It illuminated my heart at that moment. I said, let me just take a peek and see what it feels like. Because I had felt everything else at the peak of carnal pleasure. So I said, let me just see if I believe for a second, a mustard seed of faith. Hallelujah. If I just believe for a second that he's Lord, that he has been risen from the dead, and he's my Lord, and the spirit that raised him from the dead quickened my mortal body. If I believe that for a second, let me see what's going to happen. When I felt the love of God, hey, it was like nothing I ever experienced. To this day, it's like nothing I ever experienced. I'm on a Jesus high and I'm never coming down. That is my transformation from everything I thought that would validate me. I thought that would fulfill me. I thought that was my identity. And everything the adversary presented to me to give me the idea that maybe I should try these things and live in them. That's my story. A couple weeks later, I told my girlfriend at the time, was my wife today, I told her about my infidelities with women. She hit me, she cried. A few days later, I told her about my infidelities with men. I'm gonna shock you. She was more upset about the infidelities with women.
Really?
She hit me, she cried, she said, I know I love you because I want to leave you, blank, blank, blank. And then, and I was, thank God that she didn't leave me. But I said, I got to tell her everything else because I got to go into this righteously.
Yeah.
So I told her, what if I told you I used to be gay? Somebody told her I used to be gay. She was like, boy, stop playing. She laughing. I said, nah, what if it's real? If I told you I used to be gay? She laughing louder. Then I started telling her the stories. She said, then she went from like this. Eyes got big, because she like, ain't nobody in the DMV in 2011 going to tell you they gay just for kicks and giggles.
Right.
Or they was a down low man.
Yeah.
I told her, and she was like, oh my God, who knows? Family members know. Do your brother know? Do your best friend know? Do your parents know? No. A couple people know. I had a gay friend that knew. I had a cousin that knew. Nobody else knew. And they my secret was safe with them. She said, you sure you done with the life? I said, yeah. I love Jesus and I'm in love with you. She said, you sure you done with the life? I said, yeah. She said, well, that's not a deal breaker for me.
Wow.
Let's just move on. $15 years And 8 months later, we're still married. We
Still
just had our third child, second girl.
Wow,
She's 5 months.
congratulations. Congratulations on that, man. That is so that's so compelling. We've talked, but not to that great detail. And I think how just how far and wide that goes. You know, sometimes you can get in your mind like I've done too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like listening to your story, I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't come to my mind. I've done too much. Like, you've gone way farther than than I have. Again, that's no way to say, oh, this person is more or less good.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm just saying that.
All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God.
Absolutely. And what I mean by that is that just shows just the level of grace. You know, just
with sin abound, grace did much
more.
more abound.
That's right. Absolutely. And I think that's the medicine.
Yes.
I always try in these conversations to look for the medicine. And I think that there may be people who don't know how much God loves them. They don't know how far he'll go for them. And hearing that from you and several other things, just not beating people over the head and giving people space and not trying to tell people something they're not ready to hear and having a broken contract. Like, all of these things resonate so loudly. And I think that's the real medicine, man. And I just got to appreciate you for just your openness to share those things, but not just openness, because openness is good, but insight too.
Yes.
I really appreciate the insight.
I'm honored and I'm humbled every time I tell my story to share my story.
You're going to another level in how you share your story. Before we wrap, do you want to share what's the next level to share your story?
So I'm going to republish the book. I've written a book. It's called From Secrets with Men to Romance with Him. You may be able to see the back cover if you look it up online, but I have to re-up my contract with that publishing company. Mm-hmm. I still have one copy of the book. It's my wife's, and she's not going to share it. But in addition to that, we're working on the movie.
Yeah.
We're working on the movie.
Wow, man.
We are in active development and packaging of the movie. And we are to include looking for funding, serious funding.
Okay, and share, like, how can people who are interested
if you want to reach out to me concerning funding the movie, or just to hear more about my testimony, if you want me to share at your church, or just share with you personally, you can reach out to me at Love and Sword on Instagram. I'm gonna say that again, Love and Sword on Instagram. It sounds just like it's spelled just like it sounds, LOVEANDSWORD on Instagram. You can also reach out to me at Victor.EdwardMinistries. Victor.EdwardMinistries. That's VICTOR.EDWARD Ministries@gmail.com.